After winning over $500,000 on a game show, an older couple decided to go on a cruise. Full suite, water view, excursions, the whole package. Everything was perfect and they seemed very happy. But their luxury spa bathroom required a separate key card to enter. But it wouldn't always work. They'd called maintenance, but maintenance insisted they were backed up and offered they use one of the public restrooms until they could come, telling them a public bathroom was located just outside their door. The husband got mad, and Jerry rigged it to get it working, rather than waiting on the staff. Then they went about their cruise, celebrating loudly and bragging about their prize money to anyone who'd listen. When they weren't doing excursions together, the husband spent most of his time in the casino while his wife hung out at the spa. After enjoying a parasailing excursion and the beach, the wife decided to go back to her room to take a nap while the husband decided to hang around and explore the ship. What we know is, she laid down for a nap, then had to go to the bathroom. Only her key card wouldn't work again. Maintenance still hadn't come yet, but she really had to go and got annoyed. Then, she remembered her husband's steps to Jerry rigged the door lock. She tried it, only this time the door beeped a strange sound, the lock flashing red, and then, the door exploded, deleting the wife. What's so bizarre is that the explosion was so carefully crafted that it only hit their room. No other damage was on the ship. The other question was, why didn't she use the public restroom right outside her door? Since it was an emergency, the island's local police were called to investigate while the husband was detained by the ship's security. He was distraught and crying. He could barely answer their questions. He kept saying how they were going to start their lives together with their prize money. But questions were circulating fast. When asked where he was after they returned to the ship from the beach, he said the casino. He was a frequent visitor and had several eyewitnesses that he was there. But when they checked security footage, there was a long gap in which he left the casino and later returned just before the explosion. When questioned about that, he insisted he was hungry and the cafeteria was closed for dinner prep. He was stopping by all the ice cream stations on board because he wanted a macadamia nut cookie, but they weren't serving macadamia nut cookies that day. Then they checked with maintenance about the pending dough repair, but they insisted they were never called. The husband was arrested, but later released due to lack of evidence, and had to catch a flight home where he was later detained by local police. But after careful investigations, the evidence was inconclusive, and he was let go again. After a mysterious explosion deleted a newly rich wife on board a cruise, questions circulated fast about the concentrated damage that only affected her room and no other on board, and why the evidence was inconclusive. No one was certain if the husband deleted his wife, but everyone on board that ship spent the rest of the cruise trying to decide who would, if not him. Most said it had something to do with the prize money they kept bragging about to everyone who'd listen. This annoyed everyone on board, but one gentleman was particularly irked by the couple. A professional gambler nicknamed Roller? Roller, being told of their newfound winnings, seized the opportunity to make a quick buck and invited them both to his reserved table at the casino for a game. To everyone's surprise, the wife won 3 rounds, taking home another $125,000 and Roller's dignity. He wasn't seen much on the ship after that, except for at the cafeteria, where he was often observed glaring at the couple, particularly the wife. On the day of the explosion, he disappeared altogether for the entire day, and wasn't seen until dinner. But when questioned by the police, he insisted he was at a high-stakes private game, trying to win both his money and dignity back. The game, of course, was hosted inside one of the cabins, by a fellow passenger who said they often saw the husband alone in the casino talking with a red-haired woman. They seemed close, and he only spoke to her when his wife wasn't around. It appeared that they knew each other. The woman was younger than him and arrived on board with another man, but was often found wandering the ship alone and in secluded places at odd hours. Stranger still, while the husband was out looking for macadamia nut cookies, he conveniently ran into the same red-haired woman at every ice cream station on board. Only they weren't looking for cookies. According to employees, they were highly flirtatious, and the husband referred to her as his little nut, his little macadamia nut cookie. When asked by investigators about her relations with the husband, she explained she and her own husband were both swingers and liked to have fun with other partners while on vacation. But she explained he wasn't the only one she was having an affair with on board, and wasn't around during the explosion because she was spending time with the maintenance manager in her private cabin. Maintenance confirmed she did have an order for a leaky sink that took longer than usual to fulfill. But there was also questions about the maintenance manager's relationship to the red-haired woman. This wasn't the first time they'd had met. In fact, they met regularly on various cruises throughout the year. Rumors of his jealousy went far beyond him wanting her to divorce her husband. It was said that he got crazy jealous of any man he caught talking to her, refusing their maintenance requests, and doing botched job repairs whenever he did fulfill them. But when questioned again, maintenance insisted they never got the call about the bathroom door, and said that he wasn't the only one who didn't like the couple. On board was another passenger who was a contestant of the exact same game show the couple won. He was the second runner-up. While repairing the runner-up's AC unit, the contestant complained loudly how they ran into the couple on night one, and despite every attempt to avoid them, the couple invited themselves to the contestant's table, ruining his very expensive dinner reservations. He had to spend all night listening to them brag about their winnings and stupid plans of taking their dog on future cruises. But he especially seemed to hate the wife, whom he described as an idiot. Her husband got them through every round on the game show, but she answered everything wrong until the final question. The runner-up mispronounced the answer as Chopin, and she said Chopin, winning them the $500,000. To make matters worse, he'd already booked this cruise thinking he'd be $500,000 richer when he took it. Now he's broke, but he was at a show when the explosion happened. While the case is unsolved, people still wonder if the husband, the red-haired woman, the gambler, the maintenance man, or the runner-up is guilty. What do you think? A wife mysteriously deleted in an explosion that only affected her room on a cruise was left as an unsolved mystery, until her husband was mysteriously deleted 3 weeks later. After the funeral, the husband decided he needed another vacation and met up with the red-haired woman he'd met on the cruise. She opted they go skiing for a change of scenery, and he agreed. When they got there, he admitted to her he didn't know how to ski, so she offered to teach him. They left for the slopes the next morning, but it wasn't until evening when the girlfriend returned alone, frantic, and screaming that there had been a terrible accident. Police were called and went to the slopes, where they found the husband deleted, crashed against a tree. Initially, his deletion was labeled an accident until the autopsy revealed something odd about the straps to his skis. A burn mark that separated the straps from the ski was also found on his foot, and questions were asked. People at the resort said they were very close and looked happy. The husband bragged to anyone who'd listen about how smart his hot new girlfriend was, that she was going to teach him how to ski. They found it odd that he didn't sign up for a class, but even stranger that his hot new girlfriend took him to the more secluded slopes, which were too advanced for beginner skiers. When they pulled the skis apart, they found traces of a hidden explosive. It hadn't burned away completely because of the snow. This allowed police to track the explosive brand back to a demo company owned by the girlfriend's father. The girlfriend was arrested and questioned, and finally she confessed. During the cruise they met, had an affair, and planned to go away together with what was left of his recently obtained prize money. He wanted to divorce his wife, but it would be too complicated because of the money, so he decided to keep the affair quiet for now, and wait till after his second vacation to find a legal solution to divorce his wife, keep the money, and start a new life with his new girlfriend. His girlfriend, however, had other plans. She learned about explosives from her father, who was a demolition engineer, and showed her how to rig explosives. The husband complained to his girlfriend about the door lock to his private spa bathroom, but he made the mistake of bragging how he used one of the souvenir click pens on board to open the door. He always carried one in his shirt pocket. After sleeping together, she replaced one of his pocket pens with an altered one, carefully designed so that once the clicker pressed down, it would trigger an explosion. She told the police she didn't need the money. Her family was wealthy. She just wanted to see if she could get away with murder twice.